What questions do you have for?
So just a quick one. You spoke about a coalition that Exxon and APR were funding. What was the name of the coalition again?
The Global Climate Coalition.
Global Climate Coalition.
Yeah.
Mark, can you just repeat the questions?
Oh, sorry. Can we use the microphone for the question as well? Jessica, do you want to use the microphone?
Maybe, I think we need.
Yeah, so the question was, what did it mean, Global Climate Coalition?
Slower?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we've got a microphone now.
Can you come to the mic and to ask questions and make comments, please?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can I ask it from here?
Sure.
Have you ever been, have someone tried to make you quiet of not saying these things? During your journey through defending climate change, especially from the, Christian perspective. Have you been, threatened for you to be
No.
quiet? No?
Not threatened.
Or something?
Sometimes when I talk about the environment issues, just in groups of friends, somebody might come and just try to put me straight, and I kind of think, okay, why are you doing that? Do you not care about the environment? Or sometimes people argue because they hear a lot of the lies, the climate deniers and so on. I've had some really long emails from people, and I responded saying, okay, look at the science. What are the scientists telling us? What is the Pope telling us? And then they will respond with a long email saying, these are the reasons why you shouldn't believe Pope Francis, or you shouldn't believe the scientists. So, yeah. Yeah.
I think about father of lies.
Oh, yeah.
So there is a spirit
Right.
of against Pope Francis, against all the efforts to live a Christian life, to live a caring life.
Yeah.
And so I think we need to, when we listen to some of the politicians, some of the other people, I think we need to pray against the lies.
Yeah.
Not just condemn the people, but pray against the lies.
Yes, I agree. There is that's the name of our enemy, isn't it? The father of lies. So, we need to pray. That's very important. Prayer and action. Okay. So thank you very much. Oh, one more.
Perhaps one more question. I wonder, I see myself that I don't have the discipline, commitment, or I don't know what, to really, do those things starting right now. I should and I want to.
Okay.
So that's kind of why I kind of justify. I should, but kind of trying to understand why these oil companies do what they do. Something that what is your idea of why, if they know, I think being in that type of business, they have to do a lot of research. So they are the ones who actually should know better what's going to happen.
Right.
I don't understand how they can keep doing what they are doing if they know that their own families, their own grandchildren are going to be facing those things.
Yeah.
So how can they, because I think they want to continue to be rich. And But they know also at the same time they are aware that if they continue doing what they are doing, then their companies as well are going to finish. So why do you think they are not understanding?
It's the kind of you get into this mentality that you in a boardroom together you have to meet the targets for your profits year over year. These oil companies are very rich, so they have to get richer and richer. I mean, that's just the way capitalism works. That's what they do. So they need to sort of change their way of thinking. They could diversify. These companies could go into renewable energy. The technology is there.
Like laziness to thinking about another business, perhaps. Okay.
Father Gabriel, can we have the microphone? Yeah, we do have a roaming mic. So.
I'm ill at ease when we talk about the truth without making distinctions and nuances. Like when you take scientific truths. Are they truths? Yes. No, I mean, they are mostly truths, but we need to make distinctions. Like, for example, does climate change or global warming benefit? Sometimes. If you look at Canada, a big chunk of our territory is not, we can't do anything because it's frozen. Which means that if there's a climate change in Canada, lots of land is going to be possible to become agriculture. So in the case of Canada, it might be beneficial. So we cannot say, true or false. It's true with some distinctions. And the other thing is that my problem is that with I am ready, I'm more than inclined, because our Pope says so in Laudato Si, and I do agree with him, for an ecological conversion as Christians. But I believe that without a change of heart, there will not be ecological conversion. We need first to aim at a change of heart along with an ecological conversion. Now, why is that? Most of the scientists whose statements are true, why are they for population control? Why are they for abortion, for example? Most of the agenda of the United Nations is, pro-abortion, anti-life, as in terms of my Christian belief, my Catholic belief. So I have a problem that even those true scientists can also have agendas, especially in terms of our moral life. I am all for an ecological conversion, but if there's no conversion of the heart, people will still, scientists, very credible, will call for population control. But basically, it's a problem of deep, deep, deep self-centeredness. There are huge, when we make a fighter jet plane, it costs in the millions and millions of dollars. If we make less weapons of destruction and spend it on making the huge territories of Africa agriculture, I mean, even if there is a climate change and we need to fight it, we can do great things. Same thing in Canada. So for me, I would like to have distinctions and nuances made when we speak about the truth. The truth has to be an integral truth. Like as a Catholic, I would preach for ecological conversion, but without personal heart conversion, it's a myth to talk about ecological conversion. And the other thing is that how much I'm willing to be in solidarity with those who want to have a global change, ecological conversion, if they are calling for population control, abortion, and etc. I have a difficulty to be able to work with them. I can work with them on some things, but I cannot agree with them on their other conclusions. And oftentimes, those other conclusions are fostered by the true scientists. So I have a big problem. So basically, my concern is that there has to be a change of heart, a true metanoia. We cannot compartmentalize conversion. It has to be an integral conversion, including certainly an ecological conversion. But go tell to the billionaires and millionaires that are not only backing the big oil companies, but they're backing population control. Because they make a lot of money with population control, selling pills and whatever. So I cannot agree with this. So there are agendas on both sides. That's my problem.
Yeah, thank you, Father Gabriel. That's a very good point. So yeah, it's got to be about a change of heart. And there are several justice issues in the world today that we all need to be concerned about. Caring for unborn children, caring for the environment, both are equally important. We need to have both, and we need to be standing up for both of them. Now, just because some people that we maybe work with don't believe in one of those things, but do believe in the other thing, we don't have to go along with their whole agenda. And as Father Gabriel mentioned, the oil companies and also the scientists, so both sides are actually for population control. Now, Pope Francis mentions population control in Laudato Si, and he says not to use that as an excuse not to care for the poor. So we also don't need population control. We need to have people who are living very luxurious lives, like many people in Canada, where we're driving cars and giving out a lot of pollution. These few people are causing a lot of pollution, whereas there are millions of people living in Africa, South America, who are living very sustainable lives. They're not driving cars. They are not keeping the heating on in their houses. And there are loads of them. There are millions of them. Even in many places in India and China still, many people are living sustainably. I mean, China is changing, but there are many people living in poverty who are living very sustainably, and there are loads of them. There are millions and millions of them. So we don't need population control. I think what we do need is people to change their lifestyle. So the very few people who are living unsustainably need to learn to live sustainably. And just coming back to the first question, overall, yes, in Canada there is a lot of frozen land, but unfortunately, no, that's not going to work. So to farm that land, so in general, land is becoming less and less available for farming because of the earth getting hotter and hotter. So, okay, there might be a short period in our future history when we will gain a bit of land, but we're also losing a lot of land. So you can imagine all of the Fraser Valley could turn to desert, okay? But we might gain a bit of land up in the Northwest Territories. So overall, we are actually losing a lot of farm land, and globally, that's what's happening. Just also on farming, we need to change our farming methods as well. So the way that we farm needs to be improved. And many people have found that actually farming more closer to the people is actually better. So instead of shipping food in, it's actually better to grow it locally.